feel like the longest week of preparation ever for you guys?
Yeah, it does, but it was good. You know, it's been a good week and a half so far, just getting the bodies right, and then having a couple of practices to kind of mentally prepare, and then now start just a normal week for us.
What do you see from Marshon Lattimore?
He's a good player. He's physical. He can run with anybody. He's playing with a lot of confidence right now. He's got great ball skills, so he's pretty much got everything you need to be a really good corner in this league. And like I said, he's playing with a lot of confidence, which obviously helps.
Do they typically have him shadow a top receiver, or do they just play sides?
He has been, yeah. He's been shadowing.
So your expectation is you against him quite a bit?
I really have no idea. Honestly, I don't really think about those things going into a game. I just see what they do as a defense, and then kind of just see around their entire secondary how guys like to play things, and then figure it out as the game goes.
How difficult do you think that it makes those guys' jobs with what you and Stefan can do, lining up in a lot of different places, and kind of frustrating? They can't just pick one guy to shadow. Yeah, and I think it goes beyond that too. I think we have a lot of playmakers. We have a lot of guys that can do some great things with the ball in their hand. So they can't just focus on one guy. They can't focus on two guys. They really have to play us. They have to play kind of everybody, and I think the coaches do a really good job as well of spreading the ball around and getting guys in positions that they do really well.
How much use, if any, is the Week 1 tape, since they were figuring out who they were, you at a different quarterback? There was a lot different. Yeah, there's a lot different. So, you know, there's still things schematically that you can look at. But, yeah, I mean, obviously we're looking at more recent tape. Yeah, they're a completely different defense, completely different team, but so are we. So I think both teams are probably looking more recent film than that one. But still, I think there's things that you can pull away from that game as well. That being said, how do you think you were able to be so successful in that game?
I'm not sure. I think there's a lot of different reasons. I think obviously it was early on in the season, so there was some communication things probably that helped us. And then I think you know, early in the season, I think not only were they you know, just trying to get into things and trying to figure out their identity, so are we. So we're a totally different offense now than we were Week 1. So I think both sides, like I said, I don't think it's an advantage or disadvantage. I think both sides are playing a lot different football and a lot better football than Week 1.
Can you describe what you think playoff football is going to be like at US Bank Stadium?
Yeah, I don't know if I can describe it, because I think it's going to be just, you know, it's going to be something that we haven't experienced before. You know, obviously 2 years ago at TCF, it was a great atmosphere, but I don't think that will compare anything to what Sunday will be like. So I think everybody's excited. I think everybody's just really excited for the opportunity and the opportunity to be in front of our fans.
How different is the feeling this year in the locker room compared to the last time you guys went to the playoffs?
How different is the feeling? I don't know. I don't think it's. I guess I don't really know how to answer that, because I think anytime you're making the playoffs, you're just it's a one-game season, and you're excited to get out there and get that opportunity. That's what you put all that work in for, is to make the playoffs, and then it's like I said, it's a one-game season from there. So I'm sure it's very similar. But we have a lot of confidence right now, but I'm sure we did then as well.
Yeah, it was exactly 2 years ago today that you lost to Seattle. How much you guys kind of champion it a bit to get back out there, since obviously the last time in the playoffs it was kind of tough?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously have had a sour taste in our mouth since then. So obviously that was a goal of ours. That was one of the boxes we wanted to check off, was first of all make the playoffs. Then obviously the second check was to get that first round bye, and now it's to go ahead and play our best football and win this game. So we're gonna take it 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, and prepare like we always do.
Did it make it that much tougher missing the playoffs last year, because then maybe the taste was last for another year or so?
Yeah, for sure. It was difficult. It's tough. Anytime you miss the playoffs in this league, it's tough, because you want it so bad. That's what you work for. And then when you don't get there, it's a disappointment. So, like I said, that was the first check that we wanted to check off, and we were able to do that. So now it's just exciting to go and take it one game at a time.
So every game from here on out kind of take on biggest football game of your life status?
Yeah, for sure. I think, but it's kind of been funny, because I feel like it's been like that for like the last 8 weeks. So, you know, I don't think anything is different as far as how we prepare, how we go into games, you know, mentally. I think we've done a really good job. Every game is just taking it that week, taking it 1 day at a time. Not really thinking about right now. I don't think anybody's really thinking about Sunday. We're thinking about today's practice, the things we need to do to get better, and the things that we need to do today to help us win on Sunday.
From looking at like more recent tape of their defense, I mean, is there something that Marshawn Lattimore and Marcus Williams, can you see them balancing each other out a little bit more now on the back end than they did previously?
Yeah, I think the communication's a lot better. They're getting in the right coverages. They're being able to make checks and things like that. They're obviously just more efficient with the way that they play the game. And you know, they've had 16 games, 17 games now to keep getting better and learning from their mistakes and things like that. So they're playing at a high level. You know, Lattimore, he's not playing like a rookie. He's not a rookie anymore. So and you can see that the last few weeks on tape.
Adam, has been talked about quite a bit, but what stands out the most to you about the way Case Keenum has come in and taken control?
I think the thing that stands out most is the way that he's prepared and the way that he just takes it literally one day at a time and prepares the most he possibly can for that day. And it really does take a lot of pressure off us because we know that he's prepared. We know he's going to get us in the right plays, and we know he's going to find the right guy, the open guy. So it gives us as receivers a lot of confidence to go out there and just try to win.
You weren't on this team back in the day, but you're a Minnesota guy. What do you remember from that playoff game against the Saints in the NFC Championship?
Obviously, remember the pick. I don't remember a whole lot other than that, but yeah, I mean, obviously, as a fan, it was a bummer because I thought they had a good team and could maybe take it all the way, but that's football, and you just gotta. I mean, every year's a new team and new deal, so we're not even thinking about that, as players. I didn't even think about it until you said something. So, but yeah, like I said, it doesn't really matter what happened in the past. This is a completely different team. Obviously on both sides, a completely different team on their side too. So, for us, we're just trying to take it one day at a time and try to do what this team does best, and we'll take it from there.
You glad you're indoors on Sunday after a -6 game two years ago?
Yes, yeah, we're definitely glad to be in U.S. Bank Stadium for multiple reasons, not only because of the cold, but because of the atmosphere and just how everything was put together. That place is a pretty awesome place to play and to be a part of.
Adam,
How is that Case's strength fit with the offense and what you guys are trying to do?
I think his strength is he's gonna be smart with the football. He's gonna get us, like I said before, get us in the right plays, get us in the right. He's gonna find the right guys, and I think that plays into this team just because of how good our defense is. So if we can control the ball, score points, and take some pressure off the defense, we can be pretty tough to beat. And like I said, that's kind of his strengths.
you mentioned that they were just kind of getting used to their defense in week one. When you look back at that game, how much do you think the passing yards you had were broken coverages by them, and how much just one-on-one beating a guy?
I really don't know, to be honest. I don't know if I remember. Maybe one was a broken coverage, but other than that, I mean, it's football. But yeah, I mean, it happens in every game, though. I mean, that stuff doesn't. It's not just because it was the first game. I mean, stuff like that happens. I mean, that's what you're trying to do as an offense. You're trying to keep them off balance, and you're trying to get them in those situations where they have to communicate and things like that, and hope things break down.
Talking about Lattimore, how much do you pay attention when a guy is across from you? Do you use different techniques on different cornerbacks, or is it always the same thing and you just play it as it comes?
I think you just kind of, I mean, obviously you get a lot from tape, and you see how you kind of want to do things depending on how they play as a defense, how they play individually. And then you kind of just, throughout the game, you kind of feel out how they're going to play you, and maybe what things will work and what won't work. So it's really a progression through the week. You know, today I'm going to start working on things that I feel like I can do to win on Sunday, and then, like I said, just kind of feel it out as the week goes on and then as the game goes on as well.
How's the vibe around here, just in general, coming off the bat?
Same old, same old. Just I think everybody's just ready to work. I think that was the best part about the bye was it kind of gave us time away where it was like, man, feels like the end of the season, and we don't want that to be the case. So everybody kind of came Monday. Everybody kind of came back to work like, hey, let's go to work. We're ready to get after it. It wasn't like normal end of the season, like another practice. Here we go. It was like, no, let's get better because we don't want to be sitting at home next week.
Adam.